Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SavvyCast. This is Jamie, and I'm so happy that you're here today, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast. Okay, I'm filming this Christmas make-ahead recipe podcast from the beach. We ran down to 30A. We're enjoying all the family being here, and I'm sitting in a bedroom, and Zane's in the room that Zane and I are staying in, and there's almost a beach view behind us, but it has been interesting weather. We had tornado watches yesterday. It's just been one of those, and now I think we're under a gale warning. So anyway, needless to say, most of our time has been indoors. So I thought I would go ahead and film one of the most requested topics right before Christmas, and that's, what are your favorite recipes? What are some recipes that are easy and or make ahead? So I'm going to share that with you all. I'm going to direct you to a blog post, and that's where I'm going to be getting my information that I'll be sharing on the podcast, but I'll link to it in the show notes. But it's my favorite recipes for Christmas that are easy to make ahead. Y'all, do yourself a favor. Do as many things ahead of time as you can. That way you can enjoy your own party. You can enjoy your gathering, and you will not be in the kitchen all day or right until people arrive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through some of these recipes along and share some of the tips that I think will help you make them more easily. But I'm going to start with the main dish, whether you're doing lunch or dinner. And we every year do a Christmas Eve celebration with some friends, and I revisit this decision every year. Okay, what's going to be the main? So I'm going to share 3 that will not disappoint and that everyone loves, that will feed a crowd. The first is probably one of my most popular recipes on the blog, and that is my best baked ziti for a crowd. This can be totally made ahead of time. When you've got some time, you can make it in stages. You can brown and season the ground beef and then freeze it. Then you can come back and assemble it all and then freeze that. I do not bake my ziti until I don't freeze it completely baked. You have to realize the pasta is already cooked. The meat sauce has already simmered. So you're not freezing a raw casserole. You're just freezing a ready to finish in the oven pasta dish. So it's going to be, if you try to bake it and then freeze it, it's going to be drier and not as good as if you make it to the point of baking, wrap it really well and freeze it. And then my recommendation is to pull that out of the freezer a couple to 3 days before your party or your dinner, lunch. Let it thaw in the refrigerator. And then a couple of hours before your dinner or lunch, you get that in the oven and you keep it warm in either a warming drawer or a warm oven, because it does need time to sit. You don't want to pull this baked ziti out of the oven and put it on the buffet, because it needs at least 30 minutes. I prefer an hour to what I call settle. It needs time for all. It's going to be, I don't want to say wet, but it's going to have some liquid, even though it's cooked and it doesn't need to be cooked anymore. That liquid is not the most attractive. It needs 30 minutes, 45 to an hour. And all that liquid is going to be reabsorbed by the pasta. And it's going to just have a rich, cheesy, wonderful appearance and taste. And it's going to serve better out of the dish. So allow settling time for the baked ziti. The wonderful thing about this baked ziti is my recipe makes 2 casserole-sized dishes. I have made this in a jumbo aluminum pan from Dollar Tree or wherever, and it will work, but the middle, in my opinion, never gets as done as it should. I recommend, for the best consistency, dividing the recipe between 2 casserole size. That's like 9 by 11, 11 by 13, just a casserole size. And you can get those aluminum pans if you want the ease of disposal, or you can just get 2 if you want 2 regular baking dishes. But make sure they're freezer friendly. So the baked ziti is a hit on several levels. Number one, it's different from most of the holiday foods you've had up to this point, which is probably a plethora of ham and turkey. And it's just a good, rich Italian twist. And it's so filling and so delicious that all you need to add to this meal is a salad, some good bread, and then a dessert. That's it, guys. That is the perfect meal. And if you want my recommendation for salad for this, you can really serve any salad, but for Christmas, if you're serving this baked ziti for Christmas, my recommendation would be, and again, this is on a Family Savvy blog post, Easy Peasy baby blue salad. And easy peasy is not an exaggeration. This is one of the most beautiful and delicious salads, and it's gorgeous on a plate, and it looks like you slaved, but you can literally buy everything already ready to go and just put into the bowl. You can go to Costco if you're serving a crowd and get just the big box of the mesclun or spring mix. You're going to want to get that, not a romaine or a hardy lettuce. You're going to want to get the pretty mesclun or spring mix. And you can mix some butter lettuce in that if you want to, but this is a lighter salad. And then you're going to want to get a big container of strawberries. That's the only thing about making this when strawberries are not in season. It can be a challenge to find really good strawberries, but if you don't want to use strawberries, you can sub raspberries, and it is excellent. But you want to use one of the 2. You want that red fruit. And then you have glazed pecans. Now you can make your own. That's perfectly fine. But Trader Joe's, if you're near a Trader Joe's, I recommend sweet and spicy pecans, but you can get glazed pecans at grocery stores. Emerald makes a fabulous glazed pecan. And so they're ready to go. And then you're going to do blue or gorgonzola. And then you're going to have, I think that's it, guys, except for the dressing. And again, I have a hack for the dressing. The Brianna's Blush Vinaigrette, and it is anywhere you could shop, Walmart, Publix, almost any grocery. Brianna's Blush Vinaigrette is fabulous. It's a light champagne pink, light vinaigrette that goes perfectly with this salad. So you've got a salad that will probably take you less than 10 minutes to put together. And then you've got a baked ziti that you can make weeks ahead. You can make it a month or 2 ahead. And you pull that from the freezer. So you're pulling from the freezer. You're going to bake your dish about 10, 15 minutes for the salad to be put together. Get a great bread. Y'all know, if you've followed me at all, that I love Costco's Rosemary Parmesan bread. And that's it. Make sure you've got real butter. And then I'll get to dessert in a minute. I also want to make a plug for another bread that's fabulous. If you don't have a Costco membership and you want a great bread, Wild Grain, it's a small business. I ordered their sourdough and it's outstanding. I will always have that in my freezer, as well as the Costco. So, baked ziti. So that is probably one of my top recommendations. I'm also going to throw this in. This is not actually in the blog post, but because this is Make Ahead, And because it is, again, one of my most popular recipes on Family Savvy, and that is my chicken tetrazzini. It is out of this world. Again, you would make it up to the point of baking and then freeze it. What you have in this dish, again, you would put it in 2 separate casseroles. You've got white meat chicken. You can poach your own breasts, or you can get rotisserie. A lot of you have told me that you buy the rotisserie white meat from Costco that's already pulled and ready for a casserole. But you've got that. And then this, I have 2 versions of my chicken tetrazzini, and I'm going to quickly tell you the difference. The most popular one is just favorite chicken tetrazzini, and it does use canned soup. You do not make your own bechamel. It is wonderful. I have no aversion to canned soup whatsoever. But if you do, and you want to make your own bechamel or your own white sauce, white roux, then you can Google, and I'll put it in the show notes, gourmet, family savvy gourmet tetrazzini. Now, it is next level in every way. It is better. You've got good, you've got great in the basic one, but you have got over the top crazy good in the gourmet. And honestly, if you've got 30 extra minutes and you're not afraid to make a roux, go for it, because there's no better time than when you're entertaining friends and family for Christmas. It contains no cream of anything. It's out of this world. And I got this recipe years ago from my friend Sally, and people who make it say, oh my goodness, we've never tasted it. It's restaurant worthy. So either of the chicken tetrazzinis, and again, I would say make the easy peasy baby blue salad and bread. Guys, either of those they're both equally easy, and they're equally delicious. You just have one that's Italian and one that's more of a Southern traditional iconic recipe. You cannot go wrong. You'll be feeding a crowd, and people will love it, and you will not be tired and in the kitchen the whole time if you do all this early. So we've got the mains. I am going to tell you one more main. I do have Company's Coming roast beef tenderloin. I have, I think, 2 or 3 beef tenderloin recipes. We'll find those and make sure they're on the show notes. I compiled some of the top beef tenderloin recipes from my friends, and I've put them somewhere on one page. I'll find those, guys. A beef tenderloin is, for lack of a better word, it's elegant, it's fancy, it's easy to make, and that you don't really do anything but bake it. You know, you're going to marinate it. But this is the thing about a beef tenderloin. You may have people who you're supposed to, and I'm using air quotes, cook it, I believe, medium to medium rare to medium. That's I guess the most popular way. At our house, we have a lot of people who don't like, they like it medium well. So if you have a lot of people with different opinions on that, you may just resign yourself to the fact that you're going to have to cook it a little longer. I mean, sometimes you've got, I guess, issues going on with doneness. So just know that it's not like a casserole. Hey, this is done. I'm going to pull it out. Make sure you've got enough variation in those who want medium, those who might want medium well. Just make sure the whole entire thing is not medium, because some people may have an aversion to that. That's just my opinion. But I have some great recipes, and I'm going to give this is probably a very unpopular opinion, and I'm sure some of you are going to either disagree. You might email. My opinion is, I think it's fine to cook a beef tenderloin medium well, because if it's a great cut of meat. And you know, we cook pot roast. I mean, I don't know why so many people have a fit if the pork tenderloin is not medium or medium rare. So anyway, I'm on a tangent, y'all excuse me, but if you make any of these beef tenderloins, what I would recommend to go with it are my twice baked potatoes. And those are fabulous and they're easy to make ahead. And I would recommend, because they're so easy to make, I would recommend just making them and refrigerating. So when you freeze potatoes, you are going to lose some of the quality. You just are. So I would say make the twice baked potatoes. I would say you can make them up to 3 days ahead and keep them in the fridge and then just pull them out. And I would wait to sprinkle the cheese. If you sprinkle it on top instead of mixing it in, I would do that before baking, but those are always a hit. You can get some big fat potatoes that are really pretty on a plate. So you would have your beef tenderloin and your potato. And again, the easy peasy baby blue salad would be my recommendation. I also have in the blog post Mimi's Old Faithful lasagna. That's my friend Leslie's recipe. She has a fabulous cookbook. That is a wonderful lasagna and it's super easy. It's just another option if you want a pasta dish. We've talked mains, sides, and salad, and the bread. Now I'm going to just quickly share with you my top picks for dessert. I have a recipe, and it is supposedly the real one, Bellini's white chocolate bread pudding. Bellini's is a very popular restaurant in Birmingham. This bread pudding is over the top. It's a great way to end your year in indulgence. If you plan to, get back on track in January, go ahead and eat this for Christmas because it's loaded, but it's good. So I have that recipe on this blog post. Then I have Ashley Mack's red velvet cake, and it was printed in the newspaper. I think it's also in Ashley making a sweet friend of mine. Fabulous. I mean, Ashley's kitchen is one of the hottest eateries anywhere. She also ships, but I think this recipe is also in her cookbook. Then I also have a recipe that everyone loves if you are yearning for some chocolate. It's a Zoe's chocolate sheet cake copycat recipe. Zoe's is another popular eatery, and this is a very easy sheet cake. People rave over it. Okay, and then I'm going to end with 2 breakfast quiche. And the reason I'm going to end on that, this is great. You're probably going to have people at your house either the morning that you serve dinner that night or the next day. I truly believe that every kitchen needs 2 or 3 quiche during the holidays, from Thanksgiving up through Christmas, because it's so easy to cut a slice. You just have it. And I'm going to share 2 of mine, and these are super popular. And you can also throw a salad with one of these, and that can be a nice lunch. Get some little sour cream biscuits or even sweet rolls. And this is an easy lunch or breakfast. But the 2 recipes that are linked onto this blog post are spinach and bacon buttermilk quiche. Everyone loves this. I'm going to give y'all 2 tips on the quiche. Don't bake them. The best thing, you can make them and freeze them. But to me, if you've got time, just go ahead and make them a few days ahead up to the point of baking and then bake them that morning. I'm going to tell you one thing too about the spinach bacon buttermilk quiche. The most important thing, and this is with anything you make, casserole wise or quiche wise with spinach, after you cook your spinach, squeeze the pea duty out of the spinach until there is not a drop of liquid or water. And you will be surprised at how much water will come out of spinach, whether you get the kind from the grocery that you microwave or whether you use, whether you froze baby spinach in your freezer and you put it in, you want to get the liquid out or you will have a soggy quiche. My other one is easy and delicious holiday ham and cheese quiche. If you have leftover ham, or you can make ham for dinner and use that. You can get Canadian bacon and use that, but it's basically like a quiche Lorraine. Either of those is great, so I would recommend them. So guys, that's my best advice as far as what to make ahead for your Christmas entertaining. I hope this is helpful. You always, always, always can reach me, Jamie at familysavvy.com. If you're not following me on Instagram, that's where you get daily doses of what I'm cooking, the latest favorite product, kitchen tool, grocery find. So if you like the daily, just instant behind the scenes, follow me on Instagram at family_savvy. I appreciate you all so much for following and listening and watching. And if I don't talk to you again before Christmas, may you have the most blessed and joyful holiday with your family. And my love and best wishes to you all. And until the next time, you have a fabulous rest of your day. Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the SavvyCast. If you'll take the time to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, that would mean so much. As always, thank you for listening and have a blessed day.